Hello and welcome to another episode of Viking Women's Basketball with Lynn Kennedy. The Vikings are home against the defending Big Sky champions, Montana State Bobcats, this weekend. But Coach, let's first talk about last weekend. You know, a really encouraging sweep of Sacramento State. And that was encouraging because of the growth you could see from week to week and game to game. You know, just look at Thursday, you guys pull out an overtime win a week after losing a close game to Eastern Washington. And then Saturday you played a great fourth quarter, running away from the Hornets, you know, 2 days after playing kind of a tough fourth quarter against them here.
Yeah, I think, you know, like you said, we've been just trying to take it day by day, trying to get better with limited practices. I think every time we have an opportunity to be on the court has been great for us as a team. And we've had a lot of different situations in the last 2 weeks as far as games and how to prepare for those mentally and to make adjustments. And, you know, I think the first weekend we were just trying to adjust playing the same team back to back. We had 2 close games. We were right there. Our execution wasn't there. I think our defensive intensity was lacking at times, especially in the first half of both those games. And so to be able to come back last week and really talk about that Monday and Tuesday, especially with our younger players, and just kind of build them up for that Thursday game. And, you know, I liked what we did. Really the first 3 quarters, I thought we played extremely well. We executed better. We had great defensive stops, and we were keen in on their shooters. Held them to a low percentage. I think in the fourth, getting that lead changed our mentality a little bit that we haven't seen this year. So we had to adjust to that. And with them coming back, it was tough. And usually with younger teams, you would probably lose that game in overtime. So I loved our fight that we had in overtime. Our experienced players took over. But just to go through that again, I thought our execution at the end was great. You know, Dez's shot to put us up 2. We'd like better defensive transition, but I think you learn those things early on that you usually get in non-conference games that we haven't got yet this year. And then to make the adjustments going into Saturday, and it was again a close game, but I liked the tempo that we had. I felt like we were in control of the whole game, and I think that was the first time all year that we felt that. Even when they made the run in the third, I liked where we were confident, and like you said too, we had you know, people stepped up that we hadn't had in the last couple weeks, and so that was good to see as well. And just to close it out in the fourth, to make a run that we did, the 11-0 run, to kind of finish it up in the fourth, kind of sealed up that weekend. And we have to take it into this week against Montana State. It's going to be a different approach, a different team, but continue to get better each and every day.
Yeah, and on Saturday, the bench scored 25 points. That's a season high, most since, you know, basically 2 years ago. Just talk about that, and you know that really kind of speaks to the versatility, I think, and being able to show a lot of different looks that you had mentioned in the preseason.
Yeah, I think so too. And we've had some injuries now, and we've gotten into foul trouble again. And I think that when those 2 things happen, you always look for somebody to step up. And you know, I love our mix of our team. We just have so many different players that have different abilities and different skill sets, and I think at any time we could call on each one of those and they can step up, and they did. I mean, you look at Bree's game, I mean, she really stepped up. I don't think she realized how big a 3 that was that she took. You know, being down 3, to hit that 3, to go up, to tie it back up, and you know, we get a transition lane the next to give us that 2-point lead that we never relinquished again. So I think, you know, seeing people step up, Morgan, you know, hadn't scored a point yet this season, and then I liked our mismatch that we had with her down low, and she was able to score some easy baskets and give her some confidence. And, you know, I think just the whole bench as a whole, as a team, we stepped up and got a team win, but the bench really showed up and played hard and competed, and that's what we needed Saturday.
Another thing we mentioned going into last week was just rebounding, and that was a huge advantage for you guys, especially in the second halves of games. You know, Thursday you were plus 11 in the second half in overtime. Yeah. Saturday you were plus 9, and it was multiple people stepping up, like 4 different players between Jada, Sid, Tots, and Dez averaged over 7 rebounds a game last weekend.
You know, we've been talking about it since March, really, when we started doing a lot of our scouting video, you know, Zoom calls as a team, and really trying to be better, you know, defensively, but also our rebounding needed to be better than last year, and just our rotations, making sure that we read the offensive team and where their cuts are, and be in that position to rebound. So we've been watching it, we've been ready. I think it's still a work in progress, but we really keyed in on that second half and talked about, well, their long rebounds because they're shooting a lot of threes, but also getting the body on people and then going to get the rebound. A lot of times we'll make either contact and not go get it, or we'll try to just go get it and not make contact and get pushed under the basket a little bit. So, the combination of us really keying in mentally, being ready for that third and fourth quarters. We were ready for the run, but I thought we responded in the fourth, and a lot of it was they were only getting one shot, and we were getting those rebounds, and that really created either fast break opportunities for us or an execution on the other end. So, yeah, I think rebounding was a big part of that on Saturday, and we got to continue to get better.
All right, let's talk about this week's opponent, Montana State. It's a different Montana State team from last year that dominated the Big Sky. They only have one returning starter, but that returning starter is Darian White, who's the Big Sky Freshman of the Year. And she's having another great year. Really, because of her, they're leading the conference in steals, and then they're also +4 on turnover margin, which leads the conference by a wide margin. What have you seen from them so far?
Yeah, I think they're the same. I think that what they do in their program, they built such a great program and have great coaches, they just repeat. It doesn't matter what player it is. And I think, having a foundation with White as a point guard and her ability, just such a different look than we get in the Big Sky a lot of times, where quick, athletic, can get to the basket, and her shot's getting better this year, I think, and then the defensive presence that she brings, she disrupts a lot. That speed and athleticism, you don't see that too often in the Big Sky, and she brings that. So just really a different athlete. But at the same time, they did lose a lot, and so I think when you look at it, they've had a tough non-conference, they've played tough teams. They're not as powerful in the post, I would say, but they're longer and they're more athletic and they can shoot better. So it's different look than maybe that we saw last year, where it was a lot of a power game that they had inside that really hurt us, especially in that second game. But they can still shoot it. They can still attack the basket. I think they're longer and more athletic in the post, which creates problems for us as well. It's going to be a tough matchup. I think we have to stay true to ourselves this week and just continue to get better. It's still an uphill climb for us, but I like where we're at as far as our confidence, our mental approach to the game, and just, as I said before, just day to day. We got to take it one game at a time. We have to play really well, though, and to have a chance in this game. And I like last weekend. We've got to translate that into this weekend and be even better.
All right, there it is. A reminder, the Vikings are home for both games this weekend as opposed to last week. 7 p.m. tip Thursday, 12 p.m. Saturday. Both games will be aired on Pluto TV channel 1051. Shout out to Grady Titus, who's behind the camera right now filming this. He runs the stream. For links to the stream and all other information, visit GoVikes.com.